Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining Rena Bacalar and me today at this virtual town hall meeting on jobs. I want to welcome everyone online and our guests here with us today. I'm going to introduce our guests, and you can sort of just wave your hand if you'd like when I introduce you. Joseph Carbone, President and CEO of The Workplace. Malcolm Meyer, Business Manager of Amazon. Katie Thomas, Senior Staffing Manager of Amazon. And with her today is Caitlin DeBase, Staffing Coordinator, and Spencer Price, Staffing Team Lead, excuse me. So before we get going with the program, I'm just going to do a quick town overview before our guests share their comments and information. So I always begin our town hall meetings by thanking our first responders, the police, fire, emergency services, public works, healthcare workers, teachers, and essential workers. The word hero is often overused, but in the case of these men and women, it barely tells the tale. A thank you is hardly enough. Most of our town buildings are now reopened to the public, including Town Hall, the Recreation Office, and the EMS building. The public must have an appointment, which can be scheduled on the town website or by calling Town Hall to come into our town buildings, with the exception of the town clerk and the tax collector's office, where walk-ins are welcome. It is strongly recommended that tax payments continue to be made online or via the U.S. mail in order to avoid extended wait times at Town Hall. The Senior Center will remain closed until further notice, as will both our town libraries. Curbside book pickup is available at the main library on Quality Street. At this time, the good news is that we have no residents hospitalized with the virus, and our positive cases continue to remain steady. However, we continue to remind our residents to remain vigilant, to wear face coverings in public locations, and to practice social distancing. We are working diligently to mitigate the impact of the COVID crisis on both our residents and businesses. We are providing our businesses with our assistance in the form of resources, technical assistance, marketing, and other supports during this difficult time. Please visit the town website, which is updated daily, for more information about town services. Visit the Human Resources page for job opportunities in the town or with the Board of Education. I want to thank our business community for working with us. They have donated meals, services, and so many other things to the most vulnerable. Our essential businesses remained open, and we relied on their ability to deliver service to all of us. I urge all of our residents to patronize our Trumbull businesses. The town's long-term disaster recovery committee is operating under Rena Bacalar's guidance. This committee is dealing with the phased reopening of businesses and commercial centers throughout town, including job opportunities for our residents and connecting those opportunities, which will assist in the economic recovery of both our residents and businesses. This is why I'm hosting this town hall meeting today. I'm happy to welcome our guest and excited to welcome Amazon to our community. In today's program, our guests will provide information to our residents that will be beneficial to our residents, Amazon, and other Trumbull businesses. The purpose of this town hall is to connect residents and businesses with information and opportunities. We realize that many residents and young people are seeking jobs, and we are here to help. With that said, I'll now turn the program over to our Economic and Community Development Director, Rena Bacalar.
Thank you, Vicki, and again, thank you everyone who's here and who's listening in some format. We had wanted to do quite a bit of information session work with Amazon and several other companies that are coming to Trumbull in person, and we were in the midst of planning those activities when this pandemic struck. So we are using this alternative format, hoping that it's a format that will work for folks, that will help get information about hiring both for Amazon and other services and other companies in the community. So you may hear more of this coming in the future. I want to just say that The long-term recovery team that's meeting understands clearly that this is largely, but not exclusively, an economic recovery. And today, on an earlier call with some regional folks, they liked the idea that we were doing a town hall meeting on jobs, and they think they might actually do a regional town hall meeting on jobs through the Regional Long-Term Recovery Committee. So if that event happens, we'll be sharing that with our residents and our businesses here in Trumbull. I want to review with you today's agenda briefly. Obviously, Vicki opened up our program, and she will be here with us to close it at the conclusion of the remarks of our guests. We will hear from Joseph Carbone, the President and Chief Operating Officer of the Workplace, Inc. first. Then we will hear from Malcolm Meyer of Amazon, and he will talk about the Amazon delivery service partner opportunity. And then we will hear from Katie Thomas, who also is with Amazon, and she will talk about jobs and the hiring process for Amazon. And then Vicki and I will look at some general questions. Amazon will provide direct information as to how you can follow up with them directly for questions. And that will be followed by closing remarks and conclusions. So that's what you can expect today. This is being rebroadcast and live broadcast for folks that might want to revisit some of the information that was shared again, both on the Trumbull Community Television and on Facebook. So without any further delay, I want to turn the program over to our dear guest and longtime friend, Joseph Carbone. I'm going to take some liberty because Joe and I go way back and say that Joe is the president and CEO of the Workplace, Inc., which is the Regional Workforce Development Board for this part of Connecticut. But his work is much bigger and much more significant than that. He's a national figure. He's probably one of the foremost experts in workforce development. We're really, really lucky to have him in this region, and he's always such a great partner. Thanks for being here, Joe. I'll let you get into your labor market discussion and your services. Thank you.
Well, actually, Rena, if you'd like to go on, you can keep going on. All I can do is spoil it here by beginning my comment.
I meant to mention how youthful Joe is also looking to the residents.
Yes.
He never ages. God bless.
She's just repeating something that I said in regards to someone else earlier, I guess. Well, first of all, thank you all very much. And Vicki, thank you very much for your leadership. I have followed every step of the way here during this COVID-19 crisis. And you've done a phenomenal job. And I hope today's seminar is sort of a catalyst to getting other towns to do things that are similar. And Rena, I've heard from you 100 times since this thing began, probably 100 times before that too. But really, I think the town is a model for other towns to try to replicate as they move forward here. Because this thing is not over, and it's not going to be over for a long time. And I think just a guess to give people a sense of how long it can last, and my sense is it can last a long time. What a difference a few months made. I mean, if you had such a panel discussion back in early March, we were in, I think, the hottest period of economic growth in American history. And it looked like finally the makers of capitalism were going to have their day, in the sense that, you know, Adam Smith, who wrote The Wealth of Nations, was going to have his day and say, you know, hands-off policies, they work. Eventually, the economy is a fundamental help to everybody. But all that changed. It was changed by a virus that a few months ago no one ever heard of, no one would have predicted. And now it's a case of beginning to get up kind of slowly. Now, the jobs business, I will tell you that our region was hit very hard. In the state of Connecticut, which does about 2,500, or was doing 2,500 claims a week, they've done about 680 in 4 months, 680,000 in 4 months. So the volume has been incredible. We're up around 20% unemployment in our state right now. But the characteristics of the unemployed are, I think, what's important. and a thing that communities have to prepare for. The poor among our population are the ones that are really paying the steepest price here. About 40% of the unemployed, or those who file for unemployment in our region, are people that are making less than $35,000 a year. They tend to be less educated. The numbers of people that had to file who have nothing more than a high school diploma make up a considerable portion of that group. And I raise this because they will go back slowly. A lot of them are working in hospitality and other kind of lower wage types of job assignments. They will return to work as business might dictate. Employers will bring them back as they need them, but not before. And so the public would have to get to a point where they are able to trust things and feel safe. And when they do, they'll start using restaurants on a regular basis, traveling on a regular basis, and even retail on a regular basis. So that's what we're getting prepared for at the workplace. The American Job Centers are really the pillar of our system. It's where the rubber meets the road. It's the place in your region of your state where if you are unemployed, underemployed, where you can check in your career, you can talk to people, you can learn about job opportunities that are there. These places have been closed since March 14th or 15th or something, closed. So the public has been filing unemployment, and the centers have not yet quite figured out, and we don't run them. They're run by the by the Department of Labor, State Department of Labor, and haven't quite yet issued a plan. I'm sure one is coming. They've done the best that they could, but I'm sure a plan will be coming shortly, and it will tell you about the reopening of these centers. Even when they reopen, the important thing, there's actually two things I think I want to talk about. Number one is to appreciate and understand how valuable that online programs are. We didn't have a lot of online programs before March 14th. While closed, we transitioned virtually every one of our programs into some kind of an online mode. I was a skeptic. I didn't think it was going to work as well as it did, but it did. That would make us all feel better. I was just on a national call, folks who run community colleges all over the nation. And I talked about that experience, that we shouldn't be so hesitant to think, well, folks don't know how to do that, or they won't learn as well. The early experience here is that they do know how to do it, and they do learn well. In fact, it surprised me and surprised a great number of people. So it's important that your local workforce system, and we will move in a direction of transitioning as much of our work as possible. The jobs that are, there's still jobs out there. They're coming, and you've got folks here today from Amazon, a major employer, not just here, but all over the country. Seems every state I visit, Amazon comes up, and it's always in positive ways. So you people are great. But in other areas as well. And the public hasn't yet reached the point where they're thinking either this is going to be a long haul, or they're thinking that it might mean I need to go back to school, or that I may need to change my career. That takes time, and we're not reaching that yet. Now, Friday could be a big day, because on 31st of July is when that extra federal PUA benefit of $600 a week expires. There may be some action in the Congress to either renew it or reduce it, but carry it on. I don't know what's going to happen. But at some point, the thousands of people that are unemployed are going to come back and say, you know, I've been out long enough, and I need to get a job, or I need to go back to where my employer, because right now, a lot of people feel like their employer is going to keep them on or call them back at some point. So when you reach that point where thousands of people have to start thinking about their job and career, then you're going to see these centers have to be open, because we have to be there, you know, to really do something to ensure that. And you know, the other parts of these things is that we got to be prepared to know opportunities that are going to come. We're going to look back at this period in 5 years. And here's the key to learning and to workforce development. There's going to be new employment disciplines that are going to result from COVID-19, things that we never heard of 5 years before. But the public is going to be different. In order for them to feel safe and return to buying, return to vacations, doing all of those things, American entrepreneurs, international entrepreneurs, are going to create ways to help people to transition from fear to hope and comfort. It's going to be exciting and interesting. And every one of those little pockets of opportunity can manifest itself in being an engine for economic growth and helping people to bring their skill levels up where the pathway to middle-class America will even widen. So that's the positive side to this. And I hate, some folks will say, well, how can you be positive? You have to be. We're in for a tough time. Anybody that tells you otherwise is not telling you the truth. This is going to last for a while. We've got to think of a better day. And that day may come faster than most people think. That's the story for now. Rena?
Joe, can you tell folks a little bit about, are there any of these, how would they access some of your services online from the workplace?
Right. All you need to do is to go online. It would be www.workplace.org. Every one of our services or links to where you can learn more about either a particular employment discipline or program are right there. It's fully serviceable. And I don't know if I thought you were going to put it up on the screen or something. My coordinates, which have our website on it, and it can answer any question that you may have.
Great, Joe. Thank you for joining us. And there may be some questions for you later in the
I'm
program.
here. Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I want to turn the program over to Malcolm Meyer. Malcolm is the business manager for Amazon. He's going to talk about the Amazon Delivery Service Partnership opportunity for those folks who are entrepreneurial minded. And so I'll turn it over to Malcolm, and we are very excited to hear from you, Malcolm. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me, Rena and Vicky. Really am honored to be able to present at this virtual town hall. And Joe, that was great hearing the services that you're providing. And I feel like part of it could be a perfect segue into the opportunity that I'm going to be presenting on, which is the Delivery Service Partner Program. So for those of you folks that aren't able to see the screen, my name is Malcolm Meyer. I'm a business development manager for the Delivery Service Partner Program, and I cover the New England territory. So my role in a nutshell is looking for candidates that want to become delivery service partners and fill station needs in this particular market. As you go through the interview process, you would be in communication with either myself or one of my colleagues as we work with you to make sure that you understand what the next steps are and what the requirements would be. So I'm sure some of you folks on the call are Amazon Prime customers. I'm an Amazon Prime customer myself. And in order to execute on that 1 and 2 day delivery promise, that's why we really need more delivery service partners throughout New England and across the country. So when you order a shipment through Amazon.com, that order starts its life in the fulfillment center, or FC. Once that product is ordered, all of these packages are consolidated and placed into 48 or 53-foot tractor trailers, and they're brought either to a sort center for further consolidation or brought directly to a delivery station. Now, a delivery station is where delivery service partners operate out of. So as a delivery service partner, you wouldn't have to worry about rent or overhead in that regards. You'd be given a desk, equipment cage, filing cabinet, and this is where you and your team would meet during your loadout time for your pre-assigned routes in order to deliver on the last mile delivery promise. So some of you folks that aren't involved in logistics, you might have heard that before, last mile delivery. what it is exactly how it sounds. It's the last mile as the package makes its way to its customer. So you might see that image if you are following along online of that happy customer receiving a package. I know that's how I look when I receive a package. I'm always thrilled to receive one. So that's kind of the story of a load and how delivery service partners fit into it. So what the delivery service partner program is you would be creating your own business entity, a small package delivery company. As a delivery service partner, you wouldn't be a W-2 employee of Amazon. You would actually be employing 40 to 100 plus delivery associates under you. So what we're looking for in delivery service partners, managing a large team, we're looking for leaders. Logistics experience is a plus, but we've had success hiring from all industries, from school teachers to Fortune 500 execs. As long as you exhibit leadership qualities, that's what we're looking for in a delivery service partner. You'd be working out of a single delivery station. This is for a single applicant. Partnerships are encouraged, but throughout the training and application process, you could only apply as an individual. Full disclosure, this does take quite a bit of sweat equity to be successful. It's a 7-day-a-week, 361-day-a-year operation, and safety is crucial. So on top of making sure that your drivers aren't cutting corners and ensuring that they are driving safe and coaching them through that, you'd be recruiting, hiring, and coaching your team on a daily basis, focusing on the customer, both from the aspect that your drivers are your customers and also the end user, the customer that's actually receiving the package itself. At the delivery station, you'd be collaborating with Amazon leadership on a daily basis, including the operations team, the on-site trainer, people that handle troubleshooting issues when packages can't be delivered. The full gamut of those folks you'd be on a first-name basis with and working with them daily. In terms of your team, you'd be working out of an Amazon delivery service station. Oh, sorry, slides slightly delayed there. But in terms of the delivery station in your team, you'd be having 40 to 100 plus delivery associates under your team. They would be W-2 employees of your business entity. They wouldn't be W-2 employees of Amazon. So some of the things that you'd be focused on is meeting them in the morning, telling them what KPIs and safety measures to be mindful of, coaching them through some troubleshooting issues that may have come across in the previous day, dispatching them, tracking them throughout the day, seeing who might need help or troubleshooting issues along the way there. You'd also be joining a delivery service partner community. We've got about 1,000 plus DSPs across the country, and we've created message boards and apps where you can share best practices and really collaborate and help to be the most efficient delivery service partner possible. Now, some of you folks might have seen some of these branded vehicles in the road. We are rapidly expanding this program. The vehicles could be either Ford Transit, Mercedes Sprinters, or Dodge Pro-Rams. They are all branded with Amazon Prime branding. They're fully upfitted with new telematics, and you'll be able to actually monitor how your drivers perform through an app called eMentor. You'll be able to measure how much they're reversing, how hard they're braking. So you'll really be able to coach them through those issues that are related to safety to ensure that they get back safely in one piece and deliver packages at the end of the day without putting anyone at risk. If you are interested in this opportunity, here's kind of the call to action slide. You can visit our website, logistics.amazon.com. In the top right corner, you'll see an item called Start Now, and that's how you start your application process. I've also circled one of the tabs, Events. In that Events tab, you'll see recorded webinars that kind of go through the program in a little more detail from a high level, and there'll also be an opportunity to view a webinar that kind of walks you through the application process itself. So I do hope that some of you folks listening are interested in the program. If you do have any questions about the program itself, please reach out to that email listed below. It's na-dsp-contact@amazon.com for any further questions, but really appreciate you guys having me on and letting me present on this DSP opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Malcolm. I just want to make sure that folks out in the public took note of the email that Malcolm shared so that they can follow up with you with any questions. It's a unique kind of opportunity coming to our area. And I know that in advance of this call, we had a number of folks ask us about it. And so hopefully some of them are listening and can follow up with you via email. So thanks again for being with us today. I'd like to now introduce Katie Thomas, Senior Staffing Manager at Amazon, and she can talk to us a little bit about hiring.
Thanks, Rena. And thank you for having me today. Like Rena said, my name is Katie Thomas. I'm the Senior Staffing Manager for Amazon. My team conducts all the Tier 1 hiring for Amazon operations in Southwestern Connecticut and downstate New York. So today I'm going to cover at a very high level what it's like to work in Amazon operations, the opportunities we have in and close to Trumbull, and how our hiring process works. So at Amazon, we offer different types of opportunities and benefits based on which shift and location you select during the application process. Amazon offers a minimum wage of $15 an hour for all positions, and in our area, these can go up to as high as $18 an hour, depending again on the shift that you select. All of our roles have options for time off, and you will also have opportunities to earn extra time, and this is especially during our busiest seasons like the holidays. Amazon does offer many great benefits, but these do vary a lot by role, so we'll cover benefits in much more detail during new hire orientations. So some of you may have seen this in the news, but Amazon has pledged to upskill 100,000 US Amazonians for in-demand jobs by 2025. Programs are available across all of our corporate offices, tech hubs, retail stores, transportation centers, our fulfillment centers, delivery stations. So lots and lots of opportunity for programs to enhance your skill set. The eligibility for these do vary based on your position. I've highlighted our career choice program here on the slide because that's what we see most of our associates that we hire taking advantage of. And this is a really great opportunity. It's a program that will prepay your tuition for courses at accredited schools that lead to high demand occupations such as information technology, healthcare, amongst others. You can learn more about any of these programs if you go to www.aboutamazon.com/upskilling. So what are Amazon jobs like? All of our work environments have a relaxed dress code. We want you to feel comfortable. It is a physical job. So you must be able to lift up to 49 pounds, and you will be required to stand or walk for the majority of your shift. You might get the opportunity to work with powered industrial trucks, but not to worry if this opportunity is provided to you. We will provide all of the training. You do not need any type of certifications before getting a job at Amazon. At Amazon, we have many different types of buildings. They come in all different sizes. Some of you may be familiar with the huge fulfillment center in North Haven. Fulfillment centers are by far our largest buildings. They can stretch up to 15 football fields. We also have various size buildings such as sort centers in Wallingford and our delivery stations here in Trumbull. And as I mentioned, these are physical jobs and you will be moving around a lot. So you'll be on your feet all the time. It's really important that you wear comfortable shoes. Safety is always Amazon's top priority, and in order to ensure a safe environment, there are a number of safety regulations we all adhere to. So these can include things like making sure your hair is tied back if it's long, keeping your nails trimmed, wearing closed-toed shoes, amongst others. And ultimately, Amazon's goal is to ensure we're delivering upon our customer promise. Malcolm touched on this a little bit earlier, but all of the roles that I'm speaking about today are a critical piece in how we deliver upon that customer promise and get the Amazon package to our customer's doorstep. So this starts when the customer places the order, and then the merchandise or groceries are picked and the order gets packed. The box is labeled, loaded onto a truck, and these boxes are then sorted by zip code and loaded onto the delivery vehicles that Malcolm was discussing earlier. And those delivery vehicles bring these packages to our customer's doorstep. So If you end up working at a fulfillment center or as a Whole Foods shopper, you'll be supporting the beginning end of this process. If you end up taking a role at one of our delivery stations, you'll be supporting the end of this process. But no matter where you're working, all of the pieces of the supply chain are critically important to ensure our packages make it to our customers. Starting any job requires learning new skills and processes, and this is no different at Amazon. Since it is an active job, when you first start, your body might be sore in the beginning. You're adjusting to using new muscles. You might be, standing and working for the first time after a different type of job you had previously. Also, Amazon does measure performance, but over the first few weeks, we know that you're still learning and still being trained, so you'll be in what's called a learning curve. This is where your performance expectations are lowered to make sure you get the appropriate training and you're ready to be successful in your role. And it's important that we note speed is really important to working at Amazon, but equally important is quality. So we put an equal focus on how fast we do things and how well we do things to make sure we're delivering the right things to our customers on time. I'm going to touch a little bit on the different types of buildings we have in and around the Trumbull area. So the only fulfillment center we have in this area is located in North Haven. And as I mentioned before, fulfillment centers are huge. So this means that we're actually frequently hiring for that location, and there are a wide variety of shifts within the fulfillment centers. If you decide to work in North Haven, you'll get the opportunity to work with lots of innovative technology. There are robots there, and you get the opportunity to gain a diverse work experience. And we do currently have 2 delivery stations locally, one right here in Trumbull, and the second one is in Stratford. So at the delivery stations, you would be sorting, scanning, loading customer orders to fulfill same day and 2-day shipping. Malcolm showed this picture of the Prime vans earlier on the slide. I don't know if any of you have seen them in your neighborhood. I was very excited when I saw the first Prime vans come to deliver one of my packages last week. Those come directly from our delivery stations. So delivery stations are a little bit smaller than our fulfillment station, and therefore there just aren't the same variety of shifts. Most of our shifts at our delivery station right now are 4 10-hour days, and they do start at 1:20 in the morning. We also hire for Whole Food shoppers in both Milford and Fairfield locations. As a Whole Food shopper, you would be working inside the Whole Food store, handling a shopping cart, and picking items off the shelves. You'll be working while the store is open, so therefore you may interact with Whole Foods employees and customers. I think the really great thing about the Whole Foods opportunities is that they're a flexible schedule, so it is not a set schedule every week. You actually would pick the shifts you want each week. And this really leads to great opportunities if you're looking for a part-time or an additional second job, maybe just to supplement your income. So hopefully you're still excited about the opportunity to work at Amazon. If you are interested in working in any of the locations I mentioned earlier, the hiring process is exactly the same. So your first step is to complete an online application, which you can do at amazon.force.com. Once your application is complete, you'll be able to schedule yourself to one of our new hire events. And typically this can happen really fast. You'll complete your application and be able to schedule yourself to the next day for events. We run events 5 to 7 days a week, all the time in various locations around Trumbull. So lots of opportunity to get you in very quickly. Our new hire events used to be longer before COVID, but in order to ensure we're doing everything as safe as possible, these events are now very quick. So you will only be with us for about 15 minutes, just so we can complete your I-9, initiate your background check, give you your oral drug test, and take a badge photo. The thing that's so exciting about Amazon and the hiring that my team does is that it's such a fast process. Once you leave that 15-minute time slot that you're having for this event, you will have a contingent offer in your hand. And that offer is only contingent on passing your drug test and your background check. So once those contingencies clear, you'll be scheduled to your first day of work. Prior to your first day of work, there are a few things you'll need to do. Like any job, there'll be onboarding paperwork to complete to make sure you get your taxes filed correctly and we can pay you appropriately. We call that My Docs, so that will be sent to you virtually. And again, in order to ensure that we're doing everything as safely as possible, we are doing new hire orientations virtually now. So that will be required for you to complete before your first day of work. You will, of course, be paid for that. But instead of sitting in a room with other people for 4 hours, you'll be able to do this in the comfort of your own home or wherever works best for you online. So same great content, but just done virtually. Again, you will get paid for that. That will come to you prior to your first day on site. Once all of that's completed, you will be ready to come for your first day, and we can get you started training with our learning team immediately. So hopefully you've noticed I did not mention resumes or interviews on the previous slide, and that is because they are not part of our hiring process. So to work at Amazon, what you need is to have simply a high school diploma or GED, a basic level of English. You need to be 18 years or older. And like I said before, you'll need to pass a background check and a drug test. And that's it. So it's a really, really simple process. It's fantastic in the sense that we can extend it to so many different people from backgrounds and education levels and previous experiences. And we really welcome everybody at Amazon. So if you feel like Amazon and these roles would be a good fit for you, the best way to stay aware of our openings is to text either CT Now or CT Now 3 to 77088. Once you do this, our system will alert you when there are new job openings. Like I said earlier, you can always find our current openings online at www.amazon.force.com. We do put new job openings up on a weekly basis. So if you go on today and you don't see something that works for you, please don't get discouraged. There will be new opportunities coming literally on a weekly basis. So please check back, or like I said, please text CT Now or CT Now 3 to 77088. That way you don't have to check online. You'll just get a text message when new job opportunities are posted. So I want to thank everyone so much for having me today. I hope we will see you all at a hiring event soon. And we look forward to expanding Amazon's presence in the community.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Katie. Malcolm, I'm going to ask you just to repeat the email address that you want questions to go to. Can you just repeat that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's na-dsp-contact@amazon.com. And our website, again, is logistics.amazon.com. On that website, there's a ton of information and more detail surrounding application timeline and some other frequently asked questions as well. So it's a great resource to utilize if you are interested in the program.
Great. Thank you so much. So I just wanted to share that there is another corporation moving to Trumbull. They are due to open in September. They had wanted to open in August. However, with everything going on, their opening is now slated for September. The name of that company is Image First Healthcare Laundry. They are taking 64,000 square feet in our Trumbull Corporate Park, which is off of exit 11 off of Route 8. Our Trumbull Corporate Park. They will be at 50 Commerce Drive. They are hiring now for production workers. As they move into their opening, they will be hiring their leadership positions. But right now they have production worker jobs available. For folks that might be listening at home, please email me and I will put you in touch with their HR department. My email is Bakalar, B-A-K-A-L-A-R. So it's R-B-A-K-A-L-A-R at trumbull-ct.gov. I am off for the rest of the week, so you can email me. I won't get back to you maybe for a few days. But if you would email me, if you're interested in those production jobs, they are daytime jobs in the corporate park, I'd be happy to connect you. Okay, so I just want to now turn over the program to Vicki. We are going to see if there are any questions for Joe Carbone or for Vicki or myself. Amazon has given you very specific email addresses and or other information for you to follow up with questions with them directly. So Vicki?
Okay, so thanks, Rena. So there are a few questions on here. One of them, the first one from a resident is the town's hiring freeze over? And just to answer that question, no, we still have the hiring freeze on, but we do have exceptions to that for significant need. So the best advice I can give you is to go to the town website, to the human resources page, and you can click on there for jobs that are open in the town. And as I said earlier, also for the Board of Education. So that's answer that question. Let me click back on here for a minute. There are some questions here from Malcolm. So for those people who asked questions of him, you can reach him at his email address that he gave just before. And actually someone has just asked for that email one more time. Serena or Malcolm, can you give that email one more time? I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. It's na-dsp-contact@amazon.com.
Okay, now can I ask Malcolm and Katie if you would mind, and Joe as well, if we can put your email information on our website so that people can find it there as well. Is that okay?
Yes.
Malcolm, how about you and Katie? Is that okay that we do that?
I can share the contact email on your website for sure.
Yeah, that would be great.
I think the best way for me is to share the website to go and apply, and there are links there that you can contact our teams for any questions you have during the application process.
That would be perfect.
Katie, can you just share that website one more time?
Absolutely. It is www.amazon.force.com.
And also, I see in the questions that someone's asking for my email again, rbakalar@trumbull-ct.gov. And Joe, I just wanted to mention, Joe, would you just repeat your website address again for more information on virtual services through the Workplace Inc. to support job seekers and businesses?
Yeah, they should go to www.workplace, one word, workplace.org. May I comment on one thing? To those folks who are part of this from businesses, there's a number of movements that have occurred on a federal level to provide resources to help businesses either retrain or train or do things that will be positively felt and influenced by the workforce to help businesses make that transition. There is legislation right now. It's part of Stimulus 4 bill, which could be passed in the next few days. Probably not in either form as what we have read in paper, but some kind of a compromise. And when it does, there will be resources to enable us to be much more direct in terms of our helping businesses to engage in programs that can help them to transition a lot smoother than otherwise, and help people to learn, because things will be different, things will change, and in many respects for people that are very competent, very comfortable with their skills, they may have to advance them in some way.
Thank you, Vicki. I'm going to turn it back to you for any closing comments.
Actually, we have one more question on here, and it's to you, Rena, asking you to please repeat the name of the company that's coming in September.
Great. So that is Image First Healthcare Laundry. They do all the commercial laundering and linens for the healthcare industry, a very important role they play, as we've learned with all that's going on. They will have production workforce, sales workforce, and leadership workforce at their Trumbull facility. There'll be about 100 employees when they're fully up and operational. And it's Image First Healthcare Laundry, 50 Commerce Drive. And you'll hear more about those jobs in the coming month from me, but you can email me with any other questions.
Okay, At this point, I don't see any more questions. Can leave this open for a minute while I share some closing remarks. If anyone else has a question, please go on to the Q&A. So again, I just want to thank our presenters, Joe Carbone, Malcolm Meyer, Katie Thomas. We appreciate you taking time to be with us today and share this information with our community. And I certainly hope everyone that was on this call you got some useful information from this, and certainly reach out to Rena or myself with any other questions you have, and obviously feel free to reach out to Amazon and to the workplace. So at this point, unless there's any other comments from our guests, I don't see any more questions at this point. I think we're going to close this meeting. Thank you, Rena, very much.
Good meeting.
Thank you all. Thanks for being here.
Thanks,
Have a
Rena.
great week.
Oh, wait,
Vicki,
hold
thank
on.
you.
Oh, wait. We've got another question. Hold on.
Okay.
I think that the next question would be probably one that you would want to contact Malcolm, as far as I can see. Hold on one second. Oh, somebody's saying that the amazon.force.com link does not work.
Let us check that quick. I see Katie's wheels turning.
Is Bill, if you take the www off, it works. Just go to amazon.force.com.
Thank you, Bill. And that's it. I'm so glad you spoke up. Our terrific information technology director at the town of Trumbull has done so much to help us with these virtual town hall meetings, and we really appreciate all you do, Bill. Thank you.
I'll second that for sure. Thanks, Bill.
So so take off the www and it should work. Is anyone prepared to say anything else, Vicki, or are we ready to wind down and say goodbye?
I don't see any more questions, so I think we're
Great.
ready to say goodbye.
Okay, have a
Thank
great
you very
rest
much,
of the week.
everybody. Everyone stay
You're
well.